First and foremost, Holy Spirit, casting away all dark energies sent to harm or disturb me, my loved ones, and you. So, this is going to be an illumination reading. So, I'm going to shuffle up a bit. And I'll get right to it. All right, Holy Spirit, what is happening right now? Mm. So, someone is feeling liberated from negativity. You are realizing that you are free from these negative limitations that were set on you. Hi, hold on, Zion. When I'm done, okay? Drink some water. I'm gonna be quick, okay? So yeah, you are liberated from these negative energies that kept you trapped. So it could have came in the form of some type of addiction. It could have been an individual. Listen, release. Okay, you have released something, a self-limiting belief, like you are definitely a survivor and you are regaining your awareness at this time, and it's causing you to feel very hopeful. That's really good. Yeah. And like it really took a lot of hard work for you to go through this emotional awakening, but it's led you to a lot of abundance. It's led you to a lot of security. You have definitely invested into yourself. And that was a very solid investment because you know that at the end of the day, you can rely on yourself. So that's really good. Holy Spirit, what else? Mm, These calls just popping out. Yeah. Listen, all these cards represent you standing in your energy, you being independent, you following your intuition to lead you on the right path, not dependent on anyone else to make you feel happy. And that's definitely really good. Hi. And you get a lot of encouragement from the divine because through the choices that you're making is definitely leading you in the right direction. And you can see that, and that is this breakthrough that you have happening right now. Confirmation. Mm. Yeah. And you also are feeling very inspired. You're feeling very inspired because you know that there's long-term success with the things that you're doing, right? And it's through your patience. You've been working hard and you've remained ambitious, right? And that is why justice is being called in your favor because you remained honest and truthful. You took accountability for the times when you probably weren't in the right, but you always took accountability. I'm talking to somebody that was definitely very transparent. You never had a mask, you never had like where your defense mechanism made you pretty much not living your truth. Like you always did, and you always had an upright attitude. And you're also very fair. Okay, you've experienced a lot of unfairness in the past, but through your passion for life, for yourself, for the love of yourself, the passion you have in the Most High, it has led to this victory. Okay, you have a lot of forward momentum right now, and it's through you maintaining these healthy boundaries. So make sure that you're keeping these healthy boundaries. Okay, because there are individuals that are going to be committed to not sticking to your boundaries. Okay. And it's because they're feeling broke down. They're struggling, they're feeling depressed, oppressed or whatever. Um, and you walked away. Yeah, you walked away from them because you wanted to be able to rest. You walked away from them because you wanted to be able to sleep soundly, and just don't forget the peace that you have obtained. That will keep you from going backwards, So you're going to continue to work on moving forward. So right now, you should be anticipating some type of opportunity coming your way. And it might be wishful thinking, thinking about this abundance coming your way, this feeling of luxurious coming your way. Keep anticipating it, okay? Because it's coming. It's coming right for you. And you can feel that, you know, because you know that all this hard work wasn't done in vain, and you will be rewarded for your efforts. It's going to come in the form of you working with others as a team as well, and they will have the same focus effort that you do. And it's because you continue to grow and learn. Okay. Yeah, like you losing your job, look at the positives of it, because that could be setting you up for something greater. Things happen that really suck. You know what I'm saying? Things happen and they suck at the end of the day because you still have bills, you still have things to worry about. But try to think of the positive for it. Make the best out of that, because you are going to make it through. Look what came out. This was for you. You are strong and you will make it through because we are tested sometimes. And you're tested because the enemy wants to test you to see if you're going to turn. You're not. Continue to remain faithful, continue to remain hopeful. Like, even for me, I had to walk away from something that was really stressing me out. I had times where, I wasn't eating because my kids had to eat. And there's times when you go through things like that. I had to cut off my toxic family, that I had times that's like I felt like I wanted to turn back, you know, just to receive a little bit of help so I could even get food. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna remain faithful and hopeful. And I got the help that I needed. All right. And then even with your job, look up if you can apply for unemployment. Look up even if you call 211, either it's 211 or 311, but they help you with things like that. They can send you food, clothes. They can send you clothes for your interviews. There's a lot of different things out there to help you. Okay. If you're worried about paying your rent, there are a lot of things out there that can help you with your rent, your utilities in those situations. You just have to search for it and look for it. And I promise you, you will make it through this. Okay. Yes. Toxicity. Yeah, because right now you're definitely trying to find balance with having control, and it has to do with you giving and receiving. So at this time, especially as you're going through something that's very hard, you can think about how you can keep loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can think about how you are giving too much of your energy. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you will see the lesson in it. But when something hard happens to you in your life, always look at what can I learn from this. You feel me? Because when we go through hard things, it's not just bad karma or whatever. Sometimes it's God is trying to teach me a lesson so I don't go through this again. All right. That small shift, it changes everything. I promise you. I had times I was homeless, didn't have nothing, nobody, had a rental car, $2 in my account. I couldn't have the rental car for no more. I didn't have nowhere to sleep, no shelters, and God made a way for me. All right. And that's why the things that I'm telling you, it's from experience. Okay. It's from experience. I promise you. I didn't have that. I didn't have no parents to help me. I literally had nobody. Nobody. I almost lost my children because I did not have anybody. I could have lost my mind and I didn't. I thank God that I didn't have to sell my body or, if I didn't get involved in like drugs and stuff like that. I'm grateful for that, you know? But you have to look at what you can learn from it. I promise you, because once you learn the lesson, you will never have to go through it again. All right. We all have to go through towers. We all have things that happen to us, but make sure that it's contributing to your growth. Okay. Make sure that you're continuing to keep your heart. open, continuing to love yourself, and also making sure that you're setting boundaries because I promise you, sometimes the people wishing bad on you is the last person that you could think that it is. All right. That's why it's prevalent that you pray. It's prevalent that you continue to believe in yourself, even when it gets hard. That's the time. Okay. Like, I can't stress it. It gets hard. It gets hard. There's literally, I just said, you're letting go of that hurt and that pain, and it's scary. Like, it gets scary. I can't lie. It gets scary. All right. But this journey that you're on, it's not going to be this scary forever. It's not going to be this hard and hurting forever. Okay. Definitely. Definitely. And sometimes all it takes is you telling yourself in the mirror, I love you. You are worthy of love. You are strong. You are protected. That is its own protection ritual. Okay, because I've had times when I didn't have the money to buy a sage bundle. Sometimes I didn't have the money to go to a shop and, get some healing crystals. No, sometimes I just went outside and sat on the grass, you know? So, like, it's sometimes that, the simple things help the most. Okay? Even if you say a prayer into a cup of water and drink it, just be grateful for everything that you have now. Everything, because there's some things that, you're ignoring. Little things, you know? But you got to pay attention to that. Okay. What is it? A minor setback for a major comeback, you know? What was your question? Hold on. Oh, thank you. No, I'm not doing free readings, but yeah, Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. So you definitely have a lot of new beginnings coming your way, and it's gonna provide you with a lot of security. And it's like you're manifesting this by being kind and compassionate to yourself. Okay. Somebody also could be enrolled in counseling or therapy, or you're being called to enroll in some type of counseling or therapy. And there's also therapy programs that are free. Okay. And if you really don't know where to start when it comes to getting support, go to social services. There's one in every state, and you'll get all the resources you need. Promise you. Like, I can't stress it enough. Like, I literally, to this day, I don't have anyone. Okay. And you get the help that you need. And if you do need some extra encouragement, because I know it's rough, in my bio, my email is right there, and you could definitely email me. All right, if you need some help, because I have no problem helping, because I don't want anybody to go through what the hell I went through. Because it's hard. It's hard out here. And we don't be deserving to go through this stuff by ourselves. Even though I had to go through it by myself, and it's because I gave away a lot of my love to individuals that didn't deserve it. So I had to learn to have that discernment, and I learned my lesson. All right. Any more collective messages, Holy Spirit? Yeah. And it's like somebody may feel that they are under judgment at this time, and you are, but the judgment that you're under is not what you think. Like the judgment, sometimes individuals go under judgment, and it's because they're doing something horrible. So they're getting bad karma. But your judgment is the good karma that's to come your way. All right. But the things that are not good on for your journey long term, they're falling away. Okay. So you might feel like, everything's falling apart. No, the most high is making room for the blessings that's coming in. All right. Hold on to that hope because it's true. And I'm not just chatting. I've lived it. I would not get on here and talk to y'all if I did not go through it myself. I'm not in the business of just talking just to talk. When I'm giving you this advice and I'm letting you know on how to raise your vibration, I'm letting you know I started from rock bottom. I didn't have no teachings. I didn't have no none of that. Promise you. My spiritual journey started as a vision. Like I literally had a vision of something and I put it off. I was like, this is just my trauma. It was not. And that's what really had me to start praying and stuff like that. Mhm. Yeah, that's how it is. I promise you that's how it is. But you know that you're being set up for something much greater, you know? And those same individuals that turn their back on you, they're gonna watch you ascend. They're gonna watch you grow, all right? And they're gonna try to swing back around. But you learned your lesson though, right? Once you're able to stand by yourself, can nobody take that from you, all right? It's a lot of harmony. It's a lot of harmony, and somebody might be wanting to have like a peaceful coexistence with others. You might be feeling very alone, but sometimes you have to find that security within yourself and be in harmony with yourself. I'm not making this up. Self love, that is the beginning to everything. All right. Once you begin to focus the most on loving yourself and nurturing yourself, everything else is going to fall into place. I promise you. All right. Because at the end of the day, we make a lot of decisions that hurt us in the long run, and it's from lack of love because we're giving it all. We're not nurturing ourselves, loving ourselves. We're nurturing others, loving others in the hopes that it'll get returned. We're no longer doing that because it doesn't help you in the long run. Yes. Because for someone, like your goal is to have a shared connection with another individual, that's going to pour into you to where you're not just giving away your cup, y'all trading cups. And both those cups are full. Somebody to really understand you and be committed to seeing you for you and not just what you look like or what you have. That is the goal. That's what you're working towards. Okay. And this new beginning is the world. But first, you have to go through this isolation, through this period of endings to open you up to receive the world. Because, when it comes to like balancing the scales right now, you're holding on to a lot of stuff that you got to let go of, you know? And then it also is a part of like letting go of the past, working on healing your inner child. And that stuff gets hard, but this is your new beginning. Okay. Yeah, if you have difficulty feeling with that self-love, that's how I started in my journey. Sit in the mirror. You could start 3 minutes a day. Start it out with that. If you could do it longer, go ahead and do it longer. Look at yourself. Even if you can't bring yourself to say the words, I love you, look at yourself in the eyes. That simple thing is pouring into yourself. Okay. And it helps if you do it booty butt naked. But you could just look in the mirror and just get used to seeing you for you. Take that time to do that every day. All right. And I promise you, it is every time you look in that mirror, it's gonna feel like you're seeing a new part of yourself. Okay. Yeah. So you gotta let go of that resentment. Try your best because those things hurt, and sometimes it be PTSD. That's why I did recommend, try seeking counseling or a therapist and definitely journal your feelings. When you're writing in your journal, you can, if you feel a way about someone doing something to you, you can write them a letter. You don't have to send it, but just write it down just to get it out your head. That is also a way to cleanse your energy. You can pray about it. You can write your letters to the Most High. Write down how you feel. You're not going to be judged. The Most High is not here to judge you. Write it down. Okay. And that helps to cleanse your energy and also to get it out there. And even if you don't like writing, you can record like a little video journal of you just talking to yourself or even writing a letter to your future self, okay? Because that has helped me too, like in some really sad points in my life. I was like, yo, what is going on? I wrote a letter to my future self. All right. So definitely do that. It's so many different ways. Okay. And if you don't want to journal, if you're more creative, you could draw, just draw something to help you, get those feelings out. But it's all about expressing yourself. Okay. Even if you get to a point where you like, I'm so angry, I don't feel like damn writing, go outside and you could hit a tree, you can shit, punch the ground. Like it's stuff like that you could do. Write that letter to whoever it is and just say whatever you want to say, get it all out, ball it up and throw it. Give it to God. Give it to the universe. Hmm. Yes, and definitely take your time. It's prevalent that um you be patient with yourself, okay? Because you're gonna have those moments where you're like, I want to reach out to them. Don't. Just write it down, give it to the most high, and it takes a while. Like it's hard. It's hard when you get hurt. Like it sucks, especially when you're like, why would you even do that? Like, like why would you even do that? And like, you know, the reason why you feel like that is because you're innocent. When these people bring these conflicts toward you, you're innocent in these situations. You have an innocent heart. You wouldn't think, you couldn't even imagine doing the things to people that they have done to you. And that is because you have a pure heart. Okay. So just work on healing. Okay. And don't rush the process. All right. Don't rush the process. All right. Any messages, Holy Spirit? Yeah. See, this solitude is going to help you to stand in your divine power and also give you a lot of balance. All right. You got the hermit, the empress, temperance. Okay. So, sometimes the solitude, it makes you feel like, dang, what? It's not forever. All right. It is not in your path as this divine being to be alone. That's why they call it twin flames, high level soul mates with your soul tribe. All right. You're not meant to walk this journey alone, but you have to be able to stand on your own and be 100% authentically in your power to be ready for these connections so you don't take steps back, so you don't get caught up in your ego. Okay. So, right now, you should be focused on journaling, self reflecting, building up your self confidence, and loving and nurturing yourself and remaining emotionally balanced while pouring into yourself. All right. So these cards just reiterating what I'm saying. So I really hope it's resonating. Yeah. And you're so resilient. Okay. Never forget that. Remember that you keep getting up. You get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you keep getting back up. All right. And your faith gets tested, but realize we are tested the most when our calling is higher. All right. Your finances get attacked the most when you are destined for an abundance of wealth. Okay. That is what keeps you moving forward. Okay. So as you're fighting, just look forward to it. Oh, also, someone has someone in their life that is a liar. This individual they scheme a lot. They're very deceitful. Okay. There's gonna be a rapid change to that situation. I don't know if you dealt with someone lying on you or you dealt with someone just not being who they're supposed to be, being honest, being upright, being genuine. Okay. There is gonna be a rapid change in that situation. Okay. Any more messages, Holy Spirit? Yeah, because there was someone that caused some type of conflict and they found enjoyment in having these conflicts, in making you feel some type of way. All right. So if that is resonating for you, don't give a reaction. energy vampires, they feed off of the reactions. They want to make you sad, they want to make you mad, and they relish in making somebody feel down. All right, so do your best to try not to have a reaction. Even if someone does something to you and it frustrates you, walk away, go in the bathroom, or don't let them see you being affected by whatever they're doing. Because sometimes it's unavoidable, it affects us, but try your best to not show them your reaction to it. Okay? And that'll also help with them stealing your energy. Yeah, it's definitely gonna come in for you. But like I said, 211 and 311, I promise you they help you with so much. It helps a lot. Anything else, Holy Spirit, for the collective? Yeah. Because there's some type of emotional pain that has been being inflicted on someone, and this individual is very consistent with it. And they just keep doing it, like, you know, yeah, and it's like this individual has so much pride, and it's like they feel victorious when they make you feel some type of way. So definitely, I know certain situations, you can't just walk away from it, but someone definitely needs to react the opposite way of how they would expect you to react. Like if someone says something to you and you get mad, laugh. All right, I know that sounds weird, but you train yourself to react in that way because it will throw them off and it will break that energetic tie that they have, like, to your emotions. Okay, because people are weird and sometimes you got to confuse the damn enemy. Okay, but yeah, this is about following your heart and dreams. Okay, you following your heart and dreams is going to lead you away from this sadness. Okay, from feeling this despair. All right, hope. Okay, always keep your hope. Always keep having hope because there is better for you. You are worthy of the love that you desire. All right. You're definitely moving in the right direction. Okay. Even if things don't seem, in the way that you thought that it would be, I promise you, shit has to fall apart in order to rebuild even stronger because right now you're building a solid foundation. All right. As much as you may have thought this foundation was firm in the past, you are realizing now it wasn't really a solid foundation. You have a solid foundation, all right, but they did, and they worked to crumble it. All right, so you're just rebuilding at this time, and this is because you are going through a rebirth and you are emerging from this rebirth as the star. All right, so continue to stand in that power. Okay. Yeah, so for someone, it was fated for some type of betrayal to happen because there was no way that this could have happened to get this person away from you. All right? Because the way that you love, you don't walk away from people that you love. So you had to be hurt in order for you to finally set that boundary and be able to keep that boundary. All right. Definitely talking to someone that's very forgiving. That is a really good nature to have. But also, when you're forgiving, it's not for them, it's for you. All right. You can forgive someone while also not allowing them back into your energy, allowing them back in your bubble, because they showed you that they couldn't be trusted. Okay. Closing messages, Holy Spirit. Yeah. You have a lot of blessings that are coming your way. You do. You just got to remain defensive, okay? And find new perspectives and fresh ideas when it comes to the way that you defend yourself, all right? Because if you see that if it's a certain way to respond, if that's not working for you, find a different way and keep finding different ways until it works out for you, okay? But you got to be defensive. You got to do this work. You're definitely on the right path because in this spread, it's not coming up as if, there's anything you're doing wrong. But to be real, you just gotta love on yourself more, okay? And walk away from whoever you need to walk away from so the divine can drop judgment on somebody's ass because you might feel like they're not being held accountable by the divine for the things they're doing. And no, it's because you're around them still, and the divine can't call judgment on them with you still around them, okay? Or you would also be negatively affected even worse. That's why it's prevalent that you do walk away from these individuals. Yeah, and I did get the Empress that came out with the Hermit card. So somebody definitely needs to take solitude from someone. You have to find like different avenues to get away from these situations. I did say like a couple of resources. If someone is still wanting some advice about finding some type of resources, go in my bio. You can email me and I will definitely help you find some resources to help you. Okay, because we all need to work together. None of us deserves to go through these hard things alone, and it sucks that that shit happens, but um I definitely have no problems helping someone, especially if you're in a tough situation and if you really don't know how to move forward. I can definitely help. I can help you out because there's a lot of resources out there, and I literally have books and books of resources because I've had times where I was homeless. You know I didn't have anywhere to go. You feel me? And I was able to receive help. Okay. So since you're not physically around them anymore, just work on releasing the emotions surrounding the situation. Okay? Because there is some grief there, just of how the situation was and things like that. It's just releasing that past pain. So journaling would definitely help you, or whatever you like to do, right? If it's something that you like to do or liked to do in the past, do it again. Keep doing it. Just do things that you like to do that make you happy. All right. The point is for you to do things that fill your soul, that make you feel joy, that make you feel good. Okay. If it's something like doing your nails or doing your makeup or I don't know, designing clothes or whatever is your thing to do, you can do that thing. Okay. So for me as a child, I love to read a lot. I don't really I read sometimes, but it's not as much as I used to, but that has turned into me writing as to where I release a lot of my emotions through writing. And also going outside, being under the moonlight and the sunlight, that definitely helps. If you have a day where you wake up and you're feeling very exhausted, walk barefoot on some grass and that will help to ground your energy almost instantaneously. Okay, so that's for the days if you're feeling overwhelmed, and then you step on that grass, you're just visualizing the negative energy going back into the earth, being recycled into positive energy to help re-energize you. Okay. Um, that definitely helps a lot. But yeah, it's definitely prevalent that you find a balance at this time, okay, and it's mainly with like emotions, okay, and that will help you find enjoyment in the things that you used to have enjoyment in, okay, in a high vibrational aspect. Okay. And also, don't be so hard on yourself. Okay. Stop being so hard on yourself. You have enough crap going on, you know, that it doesn't help for you to get beat down on yourself as well. This is the time that you nurture yourself and love on yourself. And that will definitely help. Okay. Because it is your justice to receive these blessings coming to you. But the Most High has to make sure you're ready. All right. I know you want that abundance, but you can't get it right now because once you get it, you're going to give it away. Okay. Like literally, that's literally what it is. All right. And that's the same thing for me. All right. Cause I was in a dang homeless shelter just giving my stuff away. When I say taking my necklace off, I was literally giving things away. And I realized like you cannot do that. Like you can't. So definitely, like, this is your message to know that you are very resilient. You are very close to success. I promise you. Okay. Right now, you might be in the eye of the storm. Listen. That means you're halfway through, and you're probably more than halfway through. All right. So just do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on your goals. All right. You are strong. You are loved. You are resilient. You embody the divine love that you desire. Okay. Say those self love affirmations. And if you can't bring yourself to say them, just look at yourself in the mirror and say at least one thing that you love about yourself. Write down one thing that you love about yourself. Okay. If it's getting hard for you to release certain things that happened in the past, because it does get like that, write a letter to your inner child, right? Write a letter to the younger you, right? Write a letter to the future you, and then write a letter to you right now, as if you're talking to at least like if you're another person, like you outside of yourself looking at yourself, write a letter to yourself. Like from that, that gives you different perspectives. Okay. And that definitely helps a lot as well. Okay. But somebody definitely you are moving in the right directions. There are definitely a lot of good things coming to you. And right now you are in the growth and learning phase. Okay. You're learning and growing every single day, even if you feel that it doesn't look that way. Okay. Individuals notice that, which is why sometimes people will try to negatively attack you. Take the lesson in it to know that your light is irritating another's demons. Okay? But it's up to you to continue to stand in your divinity. Do not back down. Okay? And of course, if you feel as if your safety is in question, definitely remove yourself from the situation and go to the proper resources to get help with that. Okay, but it's definitely a lot of good things because you guys are definitely self-reflecting. You're doing a lot of introspection, and it's really good because you are realizing your innocence. Okay, some of you are very hard on yourself with your past self, like who you were in the past, and you're realizing that you had to go through certain things in order to get to where you are now. Okay, and where you are now is setting you up for your future. You are going to look back at this moment like, I'm glad I didn't give up. Okay. Use that to help you with your momentum in moving forward. All right. So you got this. All right. I hope y'all have a good night. Continue to